Okay, I was just told if I get any tough questions to talk about cats and dogs, so whatever the hell that means, I guess. But anyway, let me recap the Army game a little bit. We started out, we had 10 penalties, 4 on kickoff returns. We ended up on the -20, -10, -8, and -15. We also fielded kickoff going out of bounds on the 16, which is something we preach not to do, but again, they don't do what we tell them to do. We had 5 sacks, 3 by an offensive lineman, 1 by a running back, and 1 the quarterback needed to get rid of the football. All of those resulted in bad field position, and we know how crucial field position is. We also had 2 fumbles, and we had 2 interceptions, and that resulted in 17 points. Plus, we missed an extra point. Offensively, we did one of the things we wanted to do, and that was to slow the fullback down. We did that. We took away their option. They stopped running the option, but we had a hard time stopping their inside running game, their counter and their power inside. And then when they threw the ball, they were 3 for 3, 100% with a 40-yard touchdown pass. Offensively, we felt we could run the ball, and we did early. Our plan was looking good early. But then we got behind and we started struggling, and they pretty much teed off on us when we started throwing the ball every down. I'm going to move on. We could talk about this a little bit more. But as far as Syracuse is concerned, Doug Marrone, as you well know, is their head coach. He's a good friend of mine, coached with the Saints. He was a neighbor of mine at English Turn. For those of you who don't know, I have a home out there. They're 3-2. They have 3 overtime games. They've won 2 of them, and this last week they lost to Rutgers 19-16. Offensively, they run a pro-style offense, very similar to the Saints, very similar to some of the things we do. Their quarterback, Ryan Nasib, he broke the school record last year for completions, and this year he has 9 touchdown passes already. Their tight end, Nick Provo, is an all-conference player. Their running back, Antoine Bailey, is a little guy, about 5'7", but he's very powerful. He rushed for about 125 yards last week. He's a second-team all-conference player. He's a heck of a player. Defensively, they run a 4-3. They combine it with a 3-4. They are an attacking, aggressive defensive scheme. They held Rutgers to 5 yards rushing last week, so they're pretty aggressive. Their middle linebacker, Marquise Spruill, he's really active. He was a freshman last year. He's a middle linebacker. He's a very good player. 3 of their 4 defensive linemen are seniors. Both their safeties are returning starters and very active in run sport. Excuse me. Get back to Army. You know, after our loss to Army, obviously we were hurting, like a lot of people were. And I can understand the frustration of all the people that follow our program, that are outside of our program. But right now, my biggest concern is about our players. I can't be worried about outside people. I know we obviously are not competing to our capabilities, and that bothers me. However, I do believe that our coaches are coaching extremely hard. If you want to come and follow us around, we're here 15 hours a day, so you're more than welcome. And our players are giving us good effort. You know, they are trying hard. You know, we've made some mistakes, obviously, that affect us. But right now, our main focus on our football team, we met Sunday, and the team met. We're just trying to band together. And we can't let the naysayers, you know, some of the people that are out there, some of the media people that try to distract us. We can't have them keep us, you know, from having a good season. We don't want them to ruin our season, because that's what obviously they try to do by distracting you. There's only 3 teams in Conference USA that have winning records right now, and we play 2 of them. Okay? So there's enough football left that we can still have a successful football season. You know, we just need to continue to work hard and practice to get better. We need to stay focused and not let people distract us. And then we got to go out and we got to perform. And if we do that, everything will take care of itself. I know the injury report was passed out already. The one thing that you don't know is we've named 2 captains for this week, Ryan Travis and Jordan Sullen, both of our corners. So having said all that, what questions do you have?
Bob,
Yeah.
an offense that's strong.
Yeah.
How difficult is it not to manage?
Well, we lost him in the first quarter of the first game, and it's affected us already, to be honest with you. You know, we're playing with some younger guys. You know, Brandon LeBeau had a concussion the first half of the Duke game. We lost him for last week. He's a big play guy. Hopefully we'll get him back. Right now we're playing two walk-ons. You know, Carlos Wilson and can't think of the other name right now. Anyway, we lost a bunch of guys that have hurt. We don't have a lot of depth at position. Carmadale was a guy we were going to redshirt. We're trying to bring him back. Jacob Davis is the guy I was trying to mention. Excuse me. But like Carmadale, we wanted to redshirt him, and when Joe graduated, bring him up, and now we've got a plan. We just don't have enough receivers, you know. But I was talking to Ryan this morning. He was out yesterday actually throwing to some of the young freshman receivers because they need to get on the same page.
So when you take that and you look at your quarterback now, how much does he need to give you so much more? It seems like week in, week out, he's having struggling connecting with receivers, giving you the kind of offense that you need to have success.
Yeah.
You need to have a chance to win.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right, and that's why he went out on his own yesterday and worked with some of those freshman guys, some of the younger guys. But, you know, the passing game is all about timing. You know, obviously you got to have protection, you got to throw the ball on time, you got to catch it, and we've been struggling because some of our routes haven't been run exactly like they're supposed to be run. Our protection is broken down at times. He's become a little frustrated. And I think all those combination of things have affected his performance and our performance offensively. But it gets back down to, you know, we need to run the ball to set up some play action pass games because as you saw when we did win, those were the things that were effective. But when you can't run or you get behind real fast like we did, all of a sudden it affects you. You know, we started out the game Saturday, we were running the ball, we were doing what we wanted to do, and the game got out of hand so quick and our field position was so bad, we were playing catch-up the whole time. Any other questions?
After one lopsided loss like this,
Mm-hmm.
are you surprised at all the furor that happens? And I know you've been in this business a long time.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, you listen to some people and the ship is sinking.
Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate that, and I think, you know, it's the bandwagon people, and there's some bandwagon people in here. You know, when things are going good, everybody jumps on the bandwagon, everybody's excited, and as soon as things go bad, everybody starts ripping you in the paper, they start ripping you on the internet, you know, and that's why I don't read those things, because I hear about them, and it bothers you. You know, I mean, you're a human being. If we had to sit and talk about you and say the things that you guys do, you wouldn't like it either, but I don't have enough ink, okay? But the point is you can't worry about the naysayers. Like I said, you know, that's going to happen. It's gone on forever. There's always a lot of people out there, nameless, faceless people that are going to write things about you, say things. They don't ever give you their name. So I don't respect those people anyway. So I'm not going to let those people bother me or let me lose my focus because of that. I'm going to continue to maintain my focus. I'm going to continue to work hard, and I'm going to try to get this thing turned around and head in the right direction. Yeah.
You know, you've been in situations like this. What about your players? I mean, this is a lot of negativity, you know, especially in the last week or two.
Absolutely.
To lopsided losses.
Right.
You know, is there anything you can say to them?
Well, the one thing I said is when we did win big, I told them about all the people that jumped on the bandwagon, and I told them as soon as things go bad, those people jump off the bandwagon just as fast as they jumped on. And so you just got to educate them. And we now are realizing that it doesn't matter what the outside people think, it's what we think. We had a great team meeting Sunday. And then for the first time in a long time, the players said, Coach, we don't want the coaches to leave, we want to talk. We had a team meeting without coaches, and I heard that it was outstanding. But while I was in there, we had several players get up and actually cried. It hurt so much. And that's why I believe that this team, more so than any team we've had, is heading in the right direction, regardless of what people think.
When people look at those scores, I think that's what they're fixated on. Maybe not so much the 2-3 record, but, you know, kind of looking at the way, you know, the last
Absolutely.
games have transpired. You know, and a lot of the fan base is looking for progress, and they're looking at these games going, you know, we're getting killed.
Understandable, you know, and I want you to understand, the players feel bad about that. You know, we as coaches don't coach some of the things that are going on, okay? We don't coach them to hold and to catch the ball going out of bounds and to throw interceptions and fumble and get beat deep. We don't coach them to do that. but that's part of the game. And unfortunately, it's happened to us, and it's happened to us numerous times. And that's the bothersome thing. That's why I said we need to focus and we need to perform better. We are not performing to our capabilities. I realize that more than anybody. I've been doing this a long time. It hurts me more than anybody in this room or outside of this room.
When you look at, defense the past couple of weeks, they've given up more than 400 total yards. Is there any aspect of the defense that is underperforming, or, you know, what's kind of the deal? What's going on there?
Well, first of all, last week was difficult with the run deal. You know, I mean, we held them under 400 yards, and that's less yards than they've had in the past. But the thing about that offense, when they get on a roll, they keep the ball away from you, first of all. We only had 48 snaps, okay? So they keep it away from you, and the thing that hurt us more than anything else was our field position. We couldn't get good field position to open up things that we wanted to do. But is the team underperforming in certain areas? Possibly, you know, possibly.
What areas are those?
I'm not sure.
Okay. And you have Sam, it looks like Sam Schofield did a good job in his first start.
Sam did a very good job. He performed very well, to be perfectly honest with you. He had a really good game, and I was pleased to see how he performed against a very difficult offense to get ready for your first game as a college freshman. So he's played a little bit in the past at the end of the games, but he started this whole game and played very well.
Is there anything scheme-wise you can do, or you think you can try to change too much that sends the wrong message to the team? You know, how do you handle that as a coach?
Well, I think from this standpoint, we're a multiple offensive football team where we can do a lot of things. We can play a lot of people. We can do a lot of different things scheme-wise, and we've tried those things. We've tried slide protecting. We've tried keeping backs in. We've tried keeping tight ends in. We've tried to run the ball and failed at times. We just haven't put it all together. You know, we've got the tools, if you want to call it that, to get the job done. We just aren't performing to get the job done.
Bob, there have been many times since you've been coaching at Tulane, when you come in here and joke about, I feel like it's like football.
Yeah.
Because they're doing some of the same things.
Yeah.
You know, people watch all of our stations, and they
Sure.
hear the sound bites every week that you tell.
Sure.
A lot of them sound the same.
Right.
At what point do you start to wonder if your message is falling on deaf ears?
Well,
Or it's not getting
and that's a good question. Yeah. Well, first of all, one of the things I did this season is I came out and I made a bold statement because, number one, I wanted our players to believe that we're pretty good. And number two, I want people to believe that we're improving and getting better. And then for it not to happen all the time, you know, because we've had a couple instances where it's been good, several where it's been bad. I can't worry about that, Juan. I just got to keep on coaching and doing what I'm doing. If it's not good enough, it's not good enough. But for the most part, if you talk to our players, they've bought into what we're doing. They know what's going on. They feel bad because they haven't performed. You know, I had one kid get up and he was crying because he felt bad for the coaches because he knows that we're trying to coach him hard, but it's not getting done. And it's been very frustrating, to be honest with you. Very disappointing. But the only thing I know to do is to go back and keep working hard and try to continue to get better and to start performing to our capabilities.
Is this the hardest job you ever had?
Ever. It's the hardest job I've ever had in a lot of different ways, which I'm not going to get into detail.
You mentioned Ryan Griffin earlier.
Yeah.
How much are you worried about him pressing teams? He did pass early in that game. Just uncharacteristic.
Yeah. Well, he wants to win so badly that he may be pressing a little bit. He wants to do everything himself. He wants to make all the plays right now, and he's got to play within the system. You know, he's got to just take what people give him and do what he's been told to do. And he is such a competitive guy, and he wants to win so bad that sometimes he's getting out of character. He's doing things that aren't within himself, and that's when he gets himself in trouble.
Has Albert Williams fallen off the depth chart, or, you know, where is he kind of falling?
Well, last week, because of what they were doing, the Bear defense, we felt that we needed to be physical running the football, and the two most physical guys are Orleans and Robert Kelly. And we gave him a few plays that he ran, and he'll get some plays again this week. But You know, right now, the best two runners on our football team are Orleans Darkwa and Robert Kelly. And, you know, Dante Butler's a good little runner. We can't get them all in the game right now, you know. You can in certain situations, but, you know, you can't play them all. I wanted Orleans to kind of get off and start experiencing some success, and he did. He rushed for 100-something yards. But Robert Kelly's really an outstanding talent, too. And so Albert Moore is more of a role player, and we've talked to him about it, and he's got to understand his role, and when he gets in there and has an opportunity, he's got to take advantage of it. Yeah.
You know what you've been through since you've been in Tulane. You know that, we all know that you try to build this program to have depth and get into what you used to.
Right.
How much do you start to get concerned with what next year holds for you and the staff?
Well, I don't think you can worry about next year, right? Right now, I'm worried about this year right now. You know, I can't control what happens down the road. I can just control about what happens week to week right now, you know. So that's kind of where my thoughts are. Yeah.
The funding for the performance there, do you think this team brought on anyone in terms of the things are going good, they tend to stay away from extra space, and things are going bad, like in previous years?
Yeah, I don't know, and that's probably a good question. I don't know. I know that our team feels very bad about not performing to their capabilities week in and week out. And that's the thing that's been bothersome, is we have not been consistent. You know, I want to see us get better every day, every week, every game. And to be on a roller coaster ride is very frustrating. They are as frustrated as anybody, because if you know anything about them, they've worked their butt off. They worked harder than any team we've had. They are better than any team we've had. And all I can say is we've got a lot of football games left, and when the season's over, we can evaluate what happened and then go from there.
The previous year, you put a lot of attention on, you're saying it's not.
Not to my knowledge, nope. Nope, I think our kids, I talked to Griff a while ago about the meeting they had. He said, Coach, was awesome. We're all pulling together. We all realize what's going on, the mistakes we've made to get us beaten. And I think their attitude has been fantastic. And, you know, I'm not one to go and browbeat them now and beat them up. You know, that's not my deal, you know. I think when you're winning, as I mentioned before, I think you could be a little more demanding of them, if you want to call it that. But, you know, we're going to continue to be demanding, but we're not going to be demeaning.
Do you feel kind of attacked at this point, people looking into your housing situation, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff? You know, have you had scrutiny like that at other places, or is this kind of the hottest seat you've been in?
Well, you know, first of all, the media here is nothing like Los Angeles, okay? And in Los Angeles, I sold 3 houses, all right? I know what Sean Payton's going through now when he put his house up for sale. You know, I don't have helicopters flying over yet, but, you know, I feel for Sean, you know? I mean, people are ridiculous. People are absolutely ridiculous, you know? I put my house up in May. You know, the timing of this article and stuff is really interesting. I lose 2 football games, and all of a sudden my house is for sale. Timing is really interesting, okay? I put my house up in sale for May because my wife and I decided that our house is way too big for us at this point, okay? It's just her and myself, and to have a 4,400 plus square foot home and be where we're at, it doesn't make sense. So we said, hey, last May, not Sunday, last May, we put our house up for sale to scale down to get a little villa in English Turn, because we love English Turn, and that's what we're trying to do. A lot of people buy and sell houses. Chris Selfo lived out there and sold 3 houses. What did you guys do to poor Chris, okay? Doug Lichtenberger, my special teams coordinator, he's been here 5 years with me. He's sold 4 houses and been in 4 houses, okay? I mean, I can go on and on. Assistant coaches. Steve Stannard, you know, this is what bothers me too. Hey, go attack me. Why attack assistant coaches? They're renting. Most coaches across the country rent. Steve Stannard has a house in Colorado. Steve Stannard has a house in Athens. Steve Stannard had to rent. But you guys all lump people together. It makes me sick, to be perfectly honest with you. It's amazing how cruel people can be. People are cruel. And I understand it being in my position. But I see these faceless, nameless people on the internet that don't give you your name and then want to go out and rip you. I have no respect for any of them, okay? Anything else? Thank you very much.